Prof, I'm just wondering, because if you take a look at what happened in 2014 with the the Chibok situation and what has just happened now, I'm wondering if you could help explain how is it that the Dapchi situation and the response and the recovery of the girls was just so spontaneous. Meanwhile, the Chibok situation, we still have about 112 girls to get back.
Yes, that's the scenario that the PDP has been harping on, that it seems that it was a setup. Conspiracy theorists have suggested that this was a put-on, as it were, to give the government a breather. 4 years, still counting. The Chibok girls have not been fully retrieved, and this within a month. And I was rather tickled by the Chief of Defense Staff, the interview he gave your correspondent about 10 days or so ago, where he said, look, go and write it down. We're going to get the girls back within a week.
Quite categorical.
Yeah, he was so sure-footed. And lo and behold, it happened. So people are saying, well, this was a setup. This was just a gimmick to give political mileage to the
What do you
government.
think?
Well, my view is that the jury is still out on that. You know, there was a blame game when the Dapchi incident occurred, whether some soldiers were relocated. We've had Amnesty International, Nigeria chapter, saying that there were 5 messages to the government that these people were on their way. They gave information, but the soldiers were removed. So that gave people the impression that maybe some people think they are clever by half. But I think let's await a full inquiry. Give the benefit of the doubt to the government. Let them prove to the contrary what the opposition is saying. But as I said, there's a lot of skepticism. I will even say cynicism in the country, which again confirms to me that the government is not up to it in terms of reaching the populace.
I'm wondering what it will take to break away from religious sentiments, because this is a situation where we're still expecting, hopefully today, we'll have the last Christian girl released to the government. But have we degraded ourselves more, or have we advanced in trying to separate religion, traditions, politics, and governance?
Well, that's a very important observation, because you have to go back to 2007. Mohammed, Boko Haram, he wanted to turn Nigeria into an Islamic state, and not too long thereafter, after his demise, the Boko Haram declared that they were the Nigerian chapter of ISIS. ISIS has been dealt with by the powers that be in Iraq. And then Nigerians were a very sentimental people. The 2 religions that we tout as the dominant religions, they are not of Nigerian origin. They are Middle Eastern. I don't know why we should be killing ourselves over who faces Mecca or who faces Jerusalem. The ordinary Nigerian, really, if you scratch him, is an African. It's not an Arab. I went to school with Arab students. And, for a number of years, more than 5 years, I had Arab classmates. And I know their attitude. We are, pardon the expression, holier than thou. We want to be more Arab than Arabs. And I don't understand what's going on. Nigeria, as I said, is a very important country. And we have to stake a claim for what Ezekiel called our manifest destiny. And so using religion as a bogey, look at the Christian guy. I read what the parents said, that, look, Buhari should do something. It's not just Buhari now. It's the Boko Haram people. What's the agenda? Really, we have to ask, should we be held hostage by Islamic fundamentalists? I don't really care whether you're a Christian or Muslim. But if you're a Nigerian, I owe you the respect. But many Nigerians are not at the same wavelength as people like me. I don't care, as I said, whether what is your religious persuasion. But we must not be frugal with the truth that Nigerians, they're very much aligned to religious sensibilities. So I think the earlier we got out of that bind. Look, we're not Arabs and we're not Jews. We're Africans. Okay, we might be speaking English and wear fancy ties and what have you, but we're Africans. So we have a lot of work to do to sensitize our people, to conscientize our people about what our role should be, what should be our belief system. Enough of these dogmas, quite sincerely. So I agree with you that it's very difficult at the present point in time to separate religion from politics, from morality, from the social fabric of Nigeria.
So, Prof, give us your impression of this, because there are clips, still images too, about residents of Dapchi when they came to drop the girls. They came in their convoy, and having seen the narrative from the minister, they're saying, look, this was an agreement. It was a negotiation. They had told them, you're breaching the agreement. You have to return the girls. So while that was done, there were clips of some of those residents hailing those who were dropping. And many thought, it looks some sort of confusion about all of those. What's your impression about how that played out?
Well, I saw clips, like you said, on social media. And I was worried that the parents or the residents of Dapchi were almost celebrating the Boko Haram people for returning the girls. And it told me that we were missing a lot of what is going on here. It seems there's tremendous, I would say, rapport, if not support, for the antics of Boko Haram.
And that's very worrisome.
It is. It should be worrisome, because we have not really won the hearts and minds of the people. We should be able to convince the people to have faith and confidence in their government. But when you see the people celebrating and joyfully hailing those who did them ill, who kidnapped schoolgirls, then something is amiss. So I think, I know there's a program to rehabilitate those who have surrendered and what have you, but I'm saying that a lot of work needs to be done to sensitize. I use the word conscientize, to win the ordinary people in the Northeast over to the government. So I don't know what's going on. That's why I mentioned the National Orientation Agency. I can't think of any other agency. You can't leave it to imams, or you can't leave it to the clerics to do the job of the government for it. After the Vietnam War, a lot of work went into winning the peace. Even when you win the war, you have to win the peace. But what I found so distasteful was the attitude. But then I remind myself that we are living in a country where those who have been accused of corruption are celebrated by their compatriots. When they are released, they wear uniform dresses to celebrate Thanksgiving to confirmed and convicts. And we've seen that in this country. So if Nigerians celebrate certified convicts of corruption, what of the Boko Haram and their surrogates? So it's problematic for the Nigerian nation state.